Come on.
Ooh. We're live yet?
Know that we're live, but are we really live?
You like popsicles?
Yep, we're live.
Are we?
Yep. It says we're live.
Mm.
Sure
It
does.
says it, but were we live on the YouTubers?
According
Yep,
to
I don't-
mine, yes.
I don't see it. Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the hell's going on over here?
Probably got that whisper.
Oh, there we are. Look at that. All right.
It's whack-a-doodle time. It is whack-a-doodle time.
Uh-huh.
How are we all doing tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see how this one goes.
Everything's good, huh?
We hadn't started yet. We hadn't started yet.
Allegedly.
Oh, he's gonna be hot in the buttons tonight.
Not me.
He's gonna be hot on buttons tonight. All righty.
Addictive. It's addictive, isn't it, Steve?
Yeah, it is a little bit. It is.
Oh boy.
Whoa. Mustache, you tighten up that hat. Get ready to go.
Tighten up the hat. No, it's good tight. It's good.
Never
Okay.
mind. Okay. We ready?
Cool.
Good evening, Don.
I was born ready.
Okay, let me get my eyes focused on this.
Push that
I went-
button. Push that button.
We're already live, dude.
Oh,
No,
We've
do the
been live.
intro. Push the intro button.
the intro button. It's okay.
Oh, that button.
Yeah, it's okay.
Welcome to episode 135. I'm Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks. I jacked that all up, didn't I? Welcome to Creative Makers Podcast, episode 135. I'm Joey with Steel Blade Woodworks, joined by our host Matt with Wackey Works, Mustachio from the Wooden Mustache, and Mr. Steve I. Link in the bio from Steve I Designs. How's everybody doing?
Doing well. How you doing?
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
Where'd he go?
Video
Where'd
editing.
who go?
Just cut and edit, cut and edit.
Yeah.
Just want to hit the stop button and then hit it start button again and try
Yeah.
it. Take two.
Probably
Some
wouldn't help, but
Some people's jobs are more adventurous than others.
the words.
And action.
Huh?
Cut.
Already started.
Where's Dave?
Steve. What the hell's wrong with you?
Where's Dave?
Oh dear.
Anyhow, Mr. Mustache, you got some fine people to thank. Why don't you do that?
I sure do. There's some awesome people out there supporting our endeavor, and I would like to call out some completely random ones. And I'll start off with Aaron Richardson from Pyrex, Tom Amato from Custom Creations by Tom, and Bradley Mossman from Bradley Mossman. So we thank those three, and we'll do another round at the end with our top tier, and every other person will scroll across the bottom of the screen. So we thank you all so much for your support. We couldn't do this without you all. So if you want to join, you can go to supportcmp.com and tell them I sent you. Yeah.
Cool. All right. And
let's get into
And that's
it.
to you, Joey. Matt, what do you got in the works this week?
he was supposed to throw it to me. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, I jacked that up too, didn't I?
All right,
Oh,
let's start
Matt.
over. Let's start over.
So, Matt,
I'm
What do you
surprised.
what do you got in the works this week?
thank God we don't have a guest.
So this week I'm still working on the concrete countertops. I got an inlay in the middle of that. Got it moved outside so I can get some grinding done on it. I got to get the aggregate exposed and then polish it up to 10,000 grit and then seal it. Did some printing to do some organization in the shop, which would be just a little accessories that came to the dust extractor, stuff like that. Started cleaning up the shop, which took a lot longer than I thought to. When people just start piling stuff in your shop, tends to be in the way when you try to get into it, so it makes it harder to organize it. So we're working on that. Plus, I have that big box that's in the way of the front door, so maneuvering around that as well. So that's about really all I got going so far. What about you there, Mustachio? What you got going on so far this week?
Oh, let's see. I did some updates yesterday on the live, but I did figure out what I'm going to do for the CNC table with my laser enclosure. I stained the plywood that will be the drawer, and the rotary is going to go on that drawer. And then I need to do supports on the side to do a second level where the honeycomb will go and ultimately the laser will actually sit. I'm going to do that, the support and the top layer all out of walnut just because I got it. And there's nothing better than unnecessary walnut. So, yeah, that's going to be the plan for that. I would love to at least get that platform done and the drawer slides on and mounted before I go to Iowa. But will kind of depend on how the week goes. And I have no clue how much actual work I'm going to get done tomorrow with this storm. It might be going crazy with the snowblower. So we'll see where that storm ends up. I don't completely know if I think it's gonna be what it should be, but we shall see. What is in the works for you, Steve?
So somewhat of a slow week in the shop for me. Still working on trying to get that drill press cabinet completed. Still gotta get the dominoes laid out and do that up. I did get everything edge banded, so that's good. Got all the parts in that I needed. I did receive the drawer slides, and I got the wheels from you, Mustache, so that's good. Other than that, I got the air weights out of the box. They marinated enough, so now I'm trying to figure out layout on the CNC. I was able to flatten the CNC table. Now I just got to figure out exactly where I want to mount those and do all the plumbing for the hoses for the vacuum on the air weights tables. Beyond that, I did start the layout for a kind of little storage box / on the go sharpening station. I had recently got some diamond stones through KM Tools, and I got their new universal sharpening jig. So I'm kind of laying all that out into a little box that can travel with me when I go on my trips to Mark Adams so that I can sharpen the tools. So I'm going to lay that out, and hopefully that actually might be a second project for the Make What You Fear. So I think the drill press cabinet is going to be one. And then I think if I can get this done, it'll be possibly a second entry for that. But it's pretty much all I got going in the shop outside of prepping for another snowstorm that we're getting here in the Northeast tonight into tomorrow. So a little slow, but we're moving along. So Joey, what do you have in the works?
Still working on getting the shop back together. I did a little more wiring today. I have all the plugs wired together or wired and placed. Now I'm moving on and building the lines to the breaker box or making the path. So, or should I say sub panel correctly to the sub panel. Yeah, that picked up a lot of them horse mats from the Tractor Supply. Or Wackerle did that, so we went and bought some this weekend. I'm gonna place those basically throughout the whole shop. One, hopefully it'll make it all comfortable and being in there. And I don't know. I think it's gonna look cool. So we're gonna do that. We're working on the dust collection. That's another thing that's gonna come in. I'm gonna fully automate the shop, and there's more to come on that. So that's gonna be a cool thing to get that going and set up. And just turning on the piece of equipment, it'll open and close blast gates and turn on dust collector all in one shot. That's going to be pretty cool. So that's can't wait to get to that part. So yeah, just still working in there, getting everything lined up. Hopefully in another couple of weeks I'll have everything close to being normal again. Just got to get all that power situated and get everything ran. Stuff that I was supposed to do a long time ago that I never have. So now I'm doing it. So takes a little time to get all that set up. So yeah, that's it. Not a whole lot. Wait and try out some other stuff. So we'll bring that forward as soon as some things get settled, and let everybody know exactly what we're doing as far as that goes. But anyhow, why don't we get into this conversation for topic tonight? Because it's going to be, I think we're going to have a lot to discuss on this. And tonight's main segment is one that every maker wrestles with. Is your shop fight? I can't do that. Can't. Got to X that out. Got to exit out. Steve, you do a good job of it. Steve, you do a good job of it. That needs to be Steve. But I messed the segment above up because I should have started and then it should have handed off to Steve.
Just go with it, Joey. Just
No. You go ahead and read that.
All right. So tonight's main segment is something that every maker wrestles with. Is your shop finely tuned workflow machine or a beautiful mess that somehow still gets everything done? Tonight, we're hopefully going to dive into a great shop organization debate and break down what actually boosts productivity and what just looks good online on the socials. So let's talk about real world shops, real constraints, and real solutions. So I guess to kick it all off, the number one question everybody usually has is drawers or cabinets? What does everybody like in their shop for their main organization?
It's dependent on me on what the material or what you're trying to organize. So drawers to me is for smaller items, where cabinets are for large items that can't fit in drawers, or if you're trying to display something. That's all my cabinets are up top and are open up, but drawers down below because I'm looking down at the item, so it's easier to organize that way. Where a cabinet, I'm not gonna I'm kind of a bigger dude, so I'm not gonna squat down to go look inside of a cabinet, go look deep inside of it to figure out what's in there. I want to be able to pull extension out and be able to see it. That's me.
I'm a mix of both. I have open cabinets with no doors. I got a few drawers. I got like a big drawer on the bottom of the flip cart. But to your point, Matt, having that where you can look down into it is definitely a benefit. I mean, I don't know I don't know who would do a drawer that's above head height. That actually doesn't really make sense. But
Well, there is a trend of people doing, well, I guess they call them drawbinets. So they're more of a vertical pull out that has stuff on, the left side or the back side, the right side of almost like a vertical drawer or shelf that pulls out. So there's been a trend recently on the tube of views where folks are starting to make those. So that's another option. But what do you guys think about that?
I forget. I watched a video of some guy that did something like that, Steve, and I can't remember what his name was. What were you gonna say, Matt?
Well, I mean, definitely, if you got to pull it out, it's got all that storage in it, you're not going to need as much, I don't think, or get as much pulling it out. Makes it easier to be able to see further back in it.
So, I mean, one of the comments that always comes up is that drawers are where tools go to die. And I mean, myself, I happen to like drawers, especially for a lot of the tools and organization. But that's just me. I don't have many cabinets in the shop, and I certainly don't have any open cabinets. I find personally open cabinets kind of just collect a lot of dust and dirt, especially in a wood shop where, dust is very, very prevalent.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I feel that if a base cabinet in your shop is not set up correctly, I like a mixture of both, right? But I just feel if it's not set up correctly, that's where things go to die. So like if you don't have, like maybe if it's not set up, like you've got a drawer that slides out to where you can actually see what's in the very back, the likelihood, I'm big and I got bad knees. So to bend down and squat down and to get in there to look back is probably not going to happen. So really you just shove the stuff back there and probably never gonna get it. So I like to incorporate things that'll slide out. And I think there's, a spot for those bigger things that don't need to be setting out somewhere, that need to go in a cabinet, a base cabinet. At the same time, if you put something up high, now you're having, to reach for it on a bigger item. I don't know. And then the weight wise and all that stuff. But I mean, I do like drawers for the simple fact now that with the 3D printers that we've got, we can organize them. And that makes, you can do a lot of cool stuff in there to have a bunch of different little bins that it organizes everything. And you know exactly where it's at, label, so it's identifiable and you can go right to it and not search around for an hour. Like I've been recently doing the stuff out there. I put everything in a particular spot for electrical work and I couldn't find it. And I was going around like just opening cabinets and nowhere. I don't know, just like the levels. So
I was just going to ask, did you ever find the levels?
Yeah, you almost tripped over them 10 times.
They were, I went by them many times and they're in the corner in here. Why I put them in here is beyond me, but they were right over there. The other door that I walk out into the shop, they were right there in the dang corner. And as soon as I went and bought new levels and I was showing y'all here, oh, look at these new levels I bought. I walked after the show. I walked that way, and there were the damn levels sitting in the corner
behind the door.
In there. Yeah, beyond me.
Oh, you're trying to replace us now, huh?
There you are. So, but back. Hold on, because y'all can get a good laugh out of this.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I was looking for wire strippers.
Oh, okay.
The auto.
Thanks for clarifying.
Wire strippers that are like pliers. Boy, there's a lot in there. Anyhow, I couldn't find them. And I was like,
allegedly.
What was that?
Well, he's in the middle of nowhere.
So I had to go to the big box store and pick up some more wire.
Sure,
And
they're
as
happy
I
to
was,
see you.
yeah, and I was walking by down that aisle, leaving the wire section, and you know, there are all the fancy pliers and stuff that you need for electrical work, and there's another set of auto strippers. I was like, okay, well, I don't know where they are, and those are very useful, especially when you're doing a lot of stripping, wire stripping. I need to, wire stripping when you're doing electrical work. So
That's trying so hard to hold it
I
back.
know, well, I know, and I keep feeding him with this, but so I get here, I open them, and I have everything on the CNC table that I've been using, and there was another one of those bins that I've got all my screws and stuff in. Well, the lid was leaning back. I closed the lid, and there are the dang wire strippers, the old ones sitting right there.
Yes.
And I swore I looked all over that CNC before I left, or the day before when I was looking for them.
It's always in the last place you look, Joey.
But I had already looked there and I didn't see them. So now I have 2 sets.
There you go.
One for each hand.
Yeah.
Yep.
A stripper for each hand. There you go.
Okay.
But I guess the back on the railroad tracks here, so we don't get too far off. I guess if you don't put stuff back when you got it organized,
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
Everything in a place and a place for everything.
You're gonna end up with 2 strippers, and that's not good.
Well, I mean, I was gonna say that before. Like, I have my tool chest, and each of those drawers has their own specific thing: screwdrivers, pliers, screws, various whatever. I know if I need something, it's going to be it should be in that drawer, but it's too early for that. But I mean, knowing what you have, I guess, is my point. Like if you need to put little tags or something like a sustainer would have on the front of the drawer to remind yourself, like, oh, this has plumbing supplies, or this has like miter gauges or whatever. Do what you can to avoid that. I know I have that somewhere. Yeah, let's look for it.
Well, I mean, in some cases, though, you can label that and it'd be like, that's where they should have been if I would have put them away. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So that actually brings up a good point. Does anybody use anything like the foam inserts that they cut out for laying out in drawers or toolboxes or anything like that, so that they can open a drawer and they can look and they can see, oh, I'm missing this one wrench or this one, hand plane or whatever.
That's a highly controversial deal there, right? There's some good things with it and some bad things. One good thing is when you misplace something and it's not there. I think I like it and I don't like it. In my opinion, it takes up space. You miss out on some space that you can use with those type of inserts, because instead of coming up with the other creative way, like let's say wrenches, right?
Yeah.
You could stack wrenches sitting on their side where they take up less space, which you could probably do that in that foam, but then you're not going to really know, what it is, when you've got vertical storage that you could actually like display if you're 3D printing the sizes. Now, if you flip it on its side, now it's taking up more room, which is eating up more square space, square footage, square inches in that drawer, whatever. Right. I just think you lose out on a lot of opportunity to store stuff with it, in my opinion.
Well, there are also things that are made that you might not make, but you look at places like Harbor Freight, they for mechanics tools. They sell the socket organizers or the wrench organizers, where they have the size printed right on them, and everything kind of fits nice and compact in its own little area. And Matt, it won't help you, but they're color coded. So, you know.
What are you talking about? I'm getting better at colors. I've got my blue shirt on. This is my colorblind shirt that my wife got me. I mean, but anyway.
Sorry, Matt. But my point is, you know, now you start getting into color coding stuff, right? You know, mechanics tools, red for standard imperial, and then blue for metric. And, you know, you start getting into those other areas of organizing where, you know, people like Tyler wrote a blog post about this on his site about how he categorizes stuff in his shop, where yellow signifies construction stuff. So, you know, your typical drywall screws and, you know, levels and all that stuff. And then metric is blue and red and green and yellow and stuff for plumbing and stuff for electrical. All has a color. And he does things in more bins like sustainers or that sort of stuff, because it's easy, because you can just grab it based off the color and go, right?
Well, and at some point, when your shop is within arm's reach, you have to have that organization put in there so that you can find it. Now, I'm not saying how small it was. I just said it was at arm's reach.
That's what she said.
But I mean, literally, all of his stuff is I guess color coded, like all these made up colors y'all talk about, but they are in the shop, and he has it all laid out that way. It's pretty impressive. But as a person that doesn't have OCD, I'm probably not going to organize everything where it takes me an hour to put everything back after I've pulled out everything. But the way he's done it, and I have to commend him on it, is he has he has like a sustainer, everything that you need for that particular project. If you're hanging pictures, he has everything that you need in there. Now, are you going to have duplicates of stuff? Yes, because he has the drill bit, he has the attachment for it, he has everything that you need for it, the screws, everything in that, because he doesn't have to walk up 2 flights of stairs to go do this and go, I forgot the drill. Got to go all the way back down and get it. And so I think that's, I mean, to me, there's a trade-off there. I would rather have openness where I can see everything, rather than. Go ahead, Joey.
So I was just gonna say, so you bring up a good deal there, a good topic there is, what do y'all think cabinet storage versus sustainer storage?
I like both, and I have them incorporated. So my cabinets above display easy to see, glue, big. I can see what's there. Underneath it, I have sustainers, but I use my sustainers for smaller items. So it's, which they're pretty heavy, I ain't gonna lie, but all my nuts and bolts are in there for that particular size. And each one of them has its own size, and all my screws and all my, so I can just grab that if I'm using those types of, my Torx head screws. I can just pull them out. If I'm 7/16, I can pull those out. Whatever it is, I like that to be there. And then they have individual bins. So if I'm using individual sizes, I can grab the nuts, I can grab the washers, and I can grab that particular bolt size. It makes it easy.
Yeah,
That's
I mean the cabinet with, all right, so take you have a bunch of CA glue and you want a specific color. You open the cabinet. Now you got to dig through that shelf to figure out where that is. I mean, I found a 3D print where, I mean, this is going into the kitchen, but someone 3D printed something for the inside of the door on a cabinet, so you could put like spices. So I just screwed that to the inside of the door, and mind you, like stuff has to sit back on the shelf a tiny bit. But those heavily used spices for that case, they're right there. I don't have to dig through everything.
Yeah.
I feel like if you have a deep cabinet, like some of that stuff gets lost, just because you
I
can't
100%
access
agree.
it.
100% agree. I think
Mhm.
their cabinet uppers are just like lowers. If it's not properly organized, it's just going to go in there and you're just going to keep shoving stuff in front of it, and you're never. And now the likelihood of you trying to pull everything out to get to that stuff in the back, it's just like, it's
Mhm.
so
Well-
what do you do? What's a fix for that?
So let's take this in a little bit different direction now, because is it long-term storage, or is it frontline, first order of retrieval type stuff that we're talking about here? Because you're always going to need a spot for that gallon of glue that you don't use all the time, but you use it to fill up the smaller bottles, right?
Mhm.
And is that now long-term storage in those upper cabinets or on a shelf? Or, you know what I'm saying? It's when we start talking about the organization, we're also talking about workshop efficiency and
Mhm.
how you work in your shop. And is there a section where, it might be one small area that you do majority of your work in, that you have shorter drawers or, less deep, and cabinets that are less deep, where you have maybe in that cabinet, you have almost like tiers where things don't get stuck behind other things. You got to move 47 things to get to that, item
Right.
in the back, because it's kind of on a more of a stage or a stepped
Yep.
display, right?
And-
You lose some room, but you
you
gain some efficiency.
Correct.
Right.
And the other thing is don't store. So I usually have 3 shelves. Usually, the other ones I don't. But if I have a lot of storage, it's 3 shelves, and it's stuff I'm not going to get to a lot because I don't want to pull the step stool to go get it. I got the stuff that I'm going to refill stuff with, and then what's down below that is my everyday. I'm grabbing stuff out of that, but I don't want it on my counter space taking up my counter space. It's there and usually I have, so all my stuff right now is glass inserts, so I can see what's in there, and they're lit up on the inside, so I can see what's in it. Because if you don't see what's in it, you're never going to use it. It's the level in the corner that you never see. You're going to go buy another one.
You bring up a good point though, because then you end up buying doubles, triples of things because you don't see it, right? So, like glue, I put a little piece of this wall control up and put some shelves so that I could physically see what I have.
Mhm.
Because a lot of times, if you put it in those shelves and you're in a hurry, you're doing something, and you just forget that you even have it, and
Yep.
you either end up ordering some more, and now you have all this dang glue. That's why sometimes I don't really like cabinets. For everyday stuff, I like to leave some of that stuff out, but organized where I can physically see it and know that I have this, CA glues, whatever it may be.
So when it comes down to CA glue and glue, I'm just asking, and this is maybe me being the weird in the head thing that I usually do, but I use a consumable list. Do y'all at all?
No.
Nope.
So
Explain that.
So what it is a list of things that you use to build projects: screws, bolts, glue, CA glue, rags, paper towels, stuff I use that I throw away or get used up that you never are going to retrieve again, right?
Mhm.
Consumables. Okay. Same thing you have in your house: paper towels, toilet paper, stuff that are consumables, things that get used, never get replenished.
Mhm.
So what I do is I have basically a chart in Excel that has
Shocking.
I knew that was going.
that has like my gallon glues for different types of glues, and then as I order them, I replenish it. As I throw a bottle away, I just subtract it out. So that way I know how much I have. So I don't go there buying extra. I don't have 15 bottles of glue because I thought, well, heck, I don't have it. I know what I have. I just got to go out there in the spot where glue is and make sure it's there.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's a great
I know what you're
idea. It's
saying.
not something
I'm
that I
not
do,
making
though.
an Excel spreadsheet. Ain't gonna happen.
I'm
I
not
have
really a
lot
list
people
kind of
use it on
guy.
paper. Yeah, it's more on a piece of paper, like when you first walk in, or on a whiteboard. I got all this
Mhm.
right here.
Yeah.
As I get one, I just cross it off, and I got to order. So my
Mhm.
weekly order now, I'm going to order a bottle of clear glue from Boss Dog or whatever, and I'm going to order. I'm out of CA, so I got to order that as well. Or I'm down to one. I'm going to go ahead and order it because I know I got projects coming up.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean that's a good idea. I'm not saying it's not. I mean, it's not Excel spreadsheet. Yeah. No. I can't even read the one that we have here trying to do the dang show.
I'm trying to figure out what bump means on it. So
Get us back online, Steve, because we're going off the rails. We've been going off the rails. No,
This whole show has been off the rails.
I think we should have just hit stop and restarted. Maybe they'd have been better.
oh, are we still recording?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yes.
God.
Yes. Well, we are live, allegedly.
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 Are we?
Yeah. It says we are.
Are those numbers real?
Yeah.
So, and I think the big wrestle thing that we talk about is not shop organization, because we can organize your shop. You know, you can stop and think about it and take the time and organize your shop. If you can get it to that point, the biggest thing is organizing it back every time you get done. In other words, putting things away. And it's the hardest thing. I mean, that I think we get into a shop is, oh, there's an available flat surface, and that's why I just set that down last, because that's where tape measures end up. Any available flat surface. They don't go back where, you know, I have holders at every single place that I use a tape measure, and they all end up at the same place. I'll go over there and there's 4 tape measures. I'm like, they're gathering. They're having, you know, conversations or something here, because I can't see
Union meeting.
Exactly. Only one of them's working.
You have names for them?
So it's putting things back when you're done.
Yeah. So do people do that? I mean, when you're done with the end of it, you're all done with your job.
Steve doesn't know. He's like, do other people do that?
Well, I got to finish my shop.
I try and do that after every project.
Try to do it.
Yeah, you definitely can't do it, Joey.
No, I can't. It's complete chaos. I've been building a shop for about 5-6 years now, and I still haven't finished. And I just tore it all apart again. What the hell am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know either. Maybe one of these days it'll be set up where I can actually make something and use everything that I got. Hopefully, that's what I'm trying to get to.
Mustache.
Well, I mean, to
going before that happens.
Maybe. I think that I will definitely try if I get to the end of a project and I'm done, I will try to pick everything up. I know some people love to pretend that someone else is coming into the shop to pick up whatever you were doing the night before and basically clean the shop up for the next person, even though that's probably you. But to come in, I mean, I wouldn't say I'm a clean freak, but I definitely feel more productive if the area that I'm working in is a little picked up.
I agree.
You know, like if I have, I mean, go out in the shop right now, every flat surface has crap on it. Like there's stuff everywhere. Even I have a little cabinet with a door that folds up, and that's got a little cavity inside it and stuff. And I got crap all on the top of that. And I've gotten to the point where I just open it and just hope that everything just kind of like stays there. and doesn't slide all off,
It's the
and
closet with all the balls and stuff, and so you can just
yes,
try to shove
it's the-
another one in there and close it quick.
So let me ask a question here. Is that because you have a small shop, or is that because you don't yet have all of your shop organization figured out, and there's not a place for everything, and everything doesn't have its place yet?
I think it's a
I-
lot of squirrel moments.
Yes. I would like to lean towards the latter, Steve, where I'm not at the point yet with, because I've been making like Milwaukee tool holders and stuff for different things and whatnot, and like that's a quick, like Joey said, squirrel. Like I could definitely be doing other things than building a model to hold a jigsaw or something, but that little, I kind of look at it as a quick win, whereas like that other project is going to take maybe a day to get through, whereas I can just design this and print it. It could take as long as it wants to print, but then I get that one little quick win. Boom, that tool has a home now.
Right,
I think
but you are organizing
trying
while you're doing
slowly.
that. So
Yes,
yeah,
Well,
slowly.
my problem is I do. I mean, y'all have seen it that I've got stuff to put stuff in, and I try to get to that point, but then I get sidetracked and I want to build something, and then all that goes to the wayside. Like, I want to build something. I don't want to set up my shop, right? I want to be able to make something, and it has become a problem because my shop is not finished set up. I have
And you
stuff that I
and you
have not used.
and you don't want to Dukes a Hazard over your table saw.
I mean, you know,
I
I don't
think
know
I
if you'd
think a
want to
lot of
see
that.
that.
I think a lot of that is getting the priorities taken care of. Yes, you can do
Mhm.
quick wins along the way, but
Mhm.
getting that priority taken care of. And I know I have a priority in my shop right now that I haven't taken care of. And I thought to myself this weekend, I'm going to tackle that. And then I had to walk in the door and then realize that I had to organize everything to get to there. And then I was like, I have no ambition to go do that right now. But it's to get those priorities taken care of first. Along the way, can you do quick wins? Of course, but you got to get your
Yeah.
priorities taken care of first.
I look back and I think back in the day when I was burning the midnight oil, making things, making furniture for my wife's store, doing all that. That old shop was set up with, regular, just screwed together workbenches, and boom, I'm on the way and I'm making stuff, right? Tools were set up and just used as is, and as I had time, I would kind of fix things up, but it wasn't a big issue. Now I think in a way that in social media wasn't that very, wasn't popular. It was there, but it was not like now. And I feel that sometimes I get to where I'm seeing all these things and I want to implement that into the shop. And that's where I get held up, is because I've got a vision of what I want it to look like. Organization being the one thing, and I know what I want. I've seen a lot of videos, and I think I get frustrated, and that holds me up from completing it, because it's constantly changing. Oh, I want to do this now. And then that stops the whole progress. I know this is very off topic of what we're supposed to be talking about,
No, it's not.
but
Okay.
no, it's not.
it has been a big issue for me because I see different things, or I see something y'all are doing or somebody else out there, and then I'm like, dang, I want to do that. So now I got to backtrack and I got to stop. And then it just holds everything up.
Yeah.
So, and I think this is one of the things I think about, right? We added a bunch of new tools to our shop, right? And I think that's one of the biggest challenges is you have organized your shop. for what you have. Then you bring a new tool into it, and now you have to change the organization based off that new tool.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
for instance, look, for instance, a CNC, a joiner.
Yeah.
Put into your shop.
A drum
Throws it
sander.
it throws it all into chaos.
Walking through
Especially when you
my
get
shop
Wackerle to
sideways.
redesign the stuff, and then he has you moving everything around. Yeah, it's like, but you are right, because now you need to make sure the workflow is still going to be right, and if you don't have power, now you need to run power. But sometimes, like in Mustache's, situation, you got to figure out how to get power there, and he's in a lot tighter space than we are. And it's like, well, dang, now I need to figure out what do I need to move around. One, maybe to cut down on costs, because wire is expensive. Two, so he's not Dukes of Hazzarding over the CNC table, Yeah. So it puts everything into chaos, and all the organization you did, like you said, is gone.
Yes.
Because now you have to redo everything to make that one thing fit. That's a good point. And think about it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree.
I thought about it when I moved my CNC and all the stuff I had to do. And then Mustache at the same exact time had that joiner, the drum sander, and adding a CNC. And I went, I can't even imagine what he's trying to figure out to move things around to make it all fit and be able to walk through and make it movable, like usable. Then
thankfully,
organize
everything's on wheels.
Yeah.
Well, you bring up that point though. I've started to do a lot of that, because at first I was like, I don't need to have mobile stuff. I don't need to have tools mobile. And then you start moving stuff around, and you're getting older. You don't have the help. Excuse me. And now it's like, I need to put everything on wheels. I need to be able to do that. One, to clean, one, to maintenance the machine. And some of these things are so damn heavy that it's hard to move them. I mean, it's impossible.
You can only bribe your friend to come over once with pizza. Because then you do it again. He's like, it was 2 weeks on my back. No, I'm not coming over to your
or the kids, my boys, they're like, again, you're doing something again. It's like, so you gotta, I have everything now on wheels. One table saw is not, and I need to buy that mobile base for it. But everything else, you can move it. It can be easily rolled, and it makes for, like, when you do have a new tool come in, where you can reposition stuff if you need to. I think that's a must, is putting everything on wheels. It gets expensive on some stuff, but I think you really pays off in the long run to have it. But anyhow, back to organization.
I think that has a lot to do with organization, is being able to move things, because when you pull something new into your shop, you're going to have to change a lot of things. And you need to think about that before you buy it.
Well, not even new, Matt. I mean, it could be project based too. I mean, like, look at Scott that made those bunk beds. Like I could never put a bunk bed in my shop. But I mean, if you have the room and you have stuff on wheels, you can position that stuff in a certain layout, and boom,
Work around
this can be built here, and like,
well,
those
you
wheels
bring up
are
a
going to
good
save your
point.
life.
You bring up a good point, is you can have all this stuff, but if you don't have nowhere to build anything, what the hell is it good for? Because it's like, oh, well, I got room here. Now I need to, what can I put right here? Well, you're not thinking about, I need room to build. I need room to finish items. I need a place to finish. And a lot of us don't have the luxury of sectioning off something, especially when you're going to put a finish on something. Now you have to stop, clean everything up, and make sure there's no dust when you go to finishing.
Yep.
We're all what?
We're all out of town the weekend. You were
100% there, Don.
on the mobile base. Oh, that's great.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't. Go ahead, somebody.
No, I
I
think
mean,
that's huge, and I think that you're so now Mustache, and I thought about what he was doing is you have and it's in the same thing with Scott when I talked to him about moving his shop around. You also got to think of where's your power coming in, where's your dust collection coming in, how is that affecting everything, and if you are going to move that stuff, how stationary does that have to be because of where it's coming from? Like if you have power coming through your concrete floor, you're not just going, hey, I'm just going to move that over here. It's there. So now you have to work around that. And so that's part of your organization and part of your flow is keeping all that, that ability and to work around those parameters. And so
Steve, you've been pretty quiet over there. What give us some input here, because I feel you've been listening.
Yeah, no, I think it all ties together, and workflow definitely has a big part in your organization of your shop. There's organization of the shop for workflow, and then there's organization in the shop for getting things done, and like we were talking about earlier, organization for the grab and go stuff, and identifying, okay, what do I have in this sustainer, right? When you have 5 or 10 sustainers that are all the same thing and they're all the same color, how do you tell what's in each one without, grabbing it, opening it and saying, "Yep, that's not the one. That's not the one I wanted," and go through them all, right? So
it's probably the one on the bottom.
Yeah. It's always the one on the bottom.
They're different colors.
Either that or you're labeling or you're putting some form of identification on them.
Yeah.
So that you can use them all, right?
Thing. It's always the one on the bottom.
Yeah.
We could throw it back to our sponsor. He sells good organizational things for sustainers that are they make those sustainers actually like a drawer.
Yes.
It's why we've really gotten on a lot of us, all of us really, we started buying sustainers to organize, to in fact implement those said items into like a cabinet.
Yes.
To where you can label everything, just like Tyler. Tyler's the one that started all this madness. And we went down this dang rabbit hole, and we have freaking tons of sustainers back there, because at one point, some of y'all have already done it. Matt has already done his. Mine are still all stacked up back there, but I'm going to get to it at some point.
I got a video on it where I show off my arms a lot.
Yeah, you did a good job.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So I mean, I've gotten to the point where I've got sustainers that, let's just say I've got one that's got all of my screws in it, right? And initially, I organized them from smallest screw to largest screw. These are all the Torx head, GRKs. These are all my construction screws, and all these different things, right? Now I'm at the point where I'm like, well, every time I'm building a cabinet in the shop, I gotta grab stuff out of this sustainer, package of screws, and then I got to go to this other sustainer and grab this other stuff. So now I'm thinking, okay, now I need to just build like a grab and go cabinet making sustainer. So I'm going to pull that stuff out of where it currently lives. And I'm going to say, okay, so if I'm using a 1.5" or a 2" or whatever screw to build my cabinets, now I have those couple of screws there, and then the screws that are going to anchor it to the wall. And then I've got the countersink bit if I'm going to countersink, and all these different things that I might need to make the cabinet. Now I've got the drill guide for, the undermount slides, or to drill the back of the boxes for the undermount slides, right? So now I'm at the point where I'm starting to think about taking all of those items that I need to make these cabinets and put them in one sustainer. So it's nice that everything is currently in a sustainer, because now I can just take those different size boxes and just pick them up and move them to another sustainer. So, I mean, that's the nice thing about sometimes having things mobile and the ability to adapt, where you start getting into things like the Gridfinity type stuff, or those types of storage solutions. Sorry, Matt, go ahead.
I think that's a great idea if you have the room. So what I mean by that is, yes, when you have all your sustainers now by screws, you have it by bolts, you have it by metric, you have it by standard, and now you want to break it down into task. So do you keep the sustainers that you have with them in there, because those are your bulk items, and then break it down to a smaller sustainer? So now you need more room for those sustainers.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about doing that. I'm actually taking the stuff that I need out of that existing sustainer, and it's going to go into a different one that is just going to be, I guess, somewhat job focused. The same way that if you have a sustainer set up for electrical work, where all of your, your cutters and, wire nuts and everything are going to be, I wouldn't say go so far as electrical boxes, but maybe the knockout, anchors and everything that you're going to put in there,
right,
are all there. So you just grab that one sustainer that, I don't know, is maybe blue or red or whatever color you decide is electrical, and now it's already ready to go. So you just grab that one and you go off and you do your job, and then you come back and you just put that away, right? Whether it's a sustainer or whether it's a Milwaukee pack out or DeWalt, whatever your organization box of choice is.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I see your point, Matt, leaving the bulk in one sustainer and then building a sustainer for said task, whatever, right?
Yeah.
And maybe, either way, but then you end up with a lot of different things also on that end that now you got to find where to store. And if you're in a tight situation, that becomes an issue. Now, what do you do? Like Steve has all these mobile sustainer cabinets that are on wheels, right? And Steve's, he's in a smaller shop. He's in a different situation than we all are.
Yeah.
There's so many different ways to go about this. I mean, I think everybody's got their particular situation on how to organize. It's just coming up with the right way. I think that there's a lot of stuff out there on the market or ideas that you can implement. I love the sustainer pull-out type things. That is like, I can't wait to do them. I'm getting to that point to be able to make those, because that's going to solve a lot of my problems. Because right now I have crap everywhere on top of anything that's open that has a top. It's just spread out everywhere.
Any horizontal surface is always
and I want to get away
everything
from
goes.
That. I can't stand it. I want to get away from that. I want to have everything tucked away and just grab what I need when I'm working on something and then make sure I put it back. Because just like Wackerle was saying, he went into his shop this weekend and it took him hours to clean it up to be able to get to the point to do the project that he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I'm in that situation. Of course, I tore my shop apart, but even before I tore it apart to fix the foundation, I was still in that situation, because it gets to a point where you just don't even want to do anything. It's like, I'll come in here where I do have organization in my office and do 3D printing or do whatever, and I just block out that shop. I don't want to go out there because I know I got cleaned and pick up everything, and there's nowhere to put it because it's not finished. There's nowhere to put it. I got to move it to another corner, and it just starts piling up over there.
Well, I mean, and that brings up, where are these shop elves that everybody else talks about that come up and clean their shop at night? I want some of those.
I mean, I try at the end of every project to completely clean the shop. Like, I take it. Let's say I was building cabinets. It might take me a couple days, a week, 3 weeks, whatever, to finish that job that I'm doing. But at the end of it, I'm gonna go through and I'm going to say, okay, all these tools that are now everywhere on every horizontal surface is going back to where it's supposed to live, whether it be in a sustainer or a drawer or on a shelf. It's all getting put away. and I'm going through and I'm cleaning the whole shop and I'm vacuuming everything. And I even try to do that when I'm done with that tool. Like if I'm going to use the domino, I use the domino, I do what I'm going to do, and then I clean it and I put it away, and I take the time at the end of using that to just put it away, vacuum everything, clean everything, and now I'm ready for the next job. You know,
Yeah.
I did the edge banding, I took the Contoro, cleaned it. I even took the bit out because I hadn't cleaned the router bit that I used to trim the edge banding. I haven't cleaned it in probably a year. So I cleaned that. It's all put away. It's all ready to go for the next time. And I moved on to the next job. So I try at the end of every job, as well as at the end of each day, to try and at least organize stuff. I may still need it the next day, so I'm not going to put it away, but I'll go through and I'll organize everything in that work area. And I almost every single night, 100% I vacuum, because I don't have a dedicated shop. My shop is in my basement. So I try and keep everything as clean as possible. That's just me, though.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get to that point. I can't wait to get to that point to be able to have that everything cleaned up and not just pure chaos. You know, I'm working to it. And at some point I'll get there. But
You know,
it's a battle.
Our buddy Sedge has a saying that he walks in his shop every morning and he looks around and he takes 5 pieces of items that aren't put away. He goes and puts them away, and then he does his job. And at the end of the day, before he goes in, he does the same thing. He takes 5 items and he puts them away, and it helps to get the shop clean and in order, and you don't feel overwhelmed when you walk in. I mean, I know folks that their shop, I mean, you cannot find a horizontal surface that doesn't have, you know, things stacked upon other things. And it takes them 2 hours to clean a surface so that they can get to their table saw to actually use it. And then it just never gets cleaned and things get stacked back on it. And it's just, I don't know how they work like that.
Yeah. We got a question out there. Do you all use a shop cart to have tools that you're using to leave the workbench clean?
Yes.
Or clear?
I don't know if it leaves the workbench clear, but I do have a shop cart.
Yeah. I don't.
I have one, but what I find is that I put stuff in there and then it starts piling up. And then before you know it, you got a bunch of crap on it. But I can see if you don't procrastinate and be lazy like I am sometimes, because you get tired and you just leave it and then you just keep piling stuff on it. I got to get to the point where I force myself, like you said, like Sedge does, is put stuff away.
Yeah.
Once I'm done with it and I know I'm not going to use it anymore, put it away. Hence why I like the sustainer part.
Yeah.
Because I can put that tool up and go put it in its place. And that's a big part. And not trying to push Festool on anybody, but I do like that system of where each tool has its own place to be put away and put up. Because in the past, now you're trying to find places to put all these loose tools and there's nowhere to put it. Or you can find a place, but the likelihood it just gets bunched up with a bunch of other tools and that you're having to sift through to get to what you need. I don't know.
Yep.
That's just my thinking on it.
Well, and plus with some of the Festool, you know, I swaddle my domino before I put it back away. Like wrap it up and
You ought
tuck
to.
it away.
You ought to talk nice to it and give it little kisses and everything.
You did a good job.
Yeah, you did.
Who's a good domino?
You're a good domino.
Now, to answer the question, I don't use shop carts because I just don't, honestly, I don't have the room in my shop really for another thing. I'm in a small basement with a low ceiling, and everything gets moved around for just about each job in my machine room area. You know, if I need to use the table saw, it's getting pulled out away from the wall and set up, and then when I'm done, it's going back, and I'm pulling out a portable work surface to do some operations, and when I'm done with that, that goes away. Yeah, I just don't have the room.
Yeah, I mean, I made a little. I mean, this is actually a good kind of organization thing. So I have a shelf where my scroll saw sits, my scroll saw and the drill press. They sit on that table, and I made a rolling cart that nests under that shelf. So, I mean, think about if you're limited on space, that could be a possible idea for you for like, I need another work surface for this project or to put something on or whatever, like have the ability to tuck that away. And that's just I bought that at one of those restore. I bought that cabinet at a restore. I forget the actual first part of the name, but used cabinet, 20-30 bucks, whatever I spent on it, and I put some plywood on it and put some wheels, and boom, I got a rolling table that nests under that little shelf. So
That's a good point there. Guys with small shops are the place to go look so you can get ideas, because those guys are the most innovative.
Oh yeah, have to be
Individuals, because they have to be. They
Mhm.
have to cram everything in there. I mean, for instance, look at Dave Miller. His shop is immaculate, and everything's all nicely tucked away, organized. At least what we see, right? And he shows you around there, and it's like all nice and clean and tight. And there's other individuals out there that they don't have a lot of space, but they want to do this hobby, and they find very genius ways to store stuff, to organize everything. And those are the places to go and look to get ideas on how and what to do. And if you got a bigger shop, then you can just multiply that and use that to make more storage for yourself.
there was that tiny house show. I forget, it might have been Tiny House Nation or something like that. But anyway, to your point, Joey, like those, looking at what people have done for like shop ideas and stuff, like that builder that was on that show, like he did so many multi-purpose type ideas with like, this is a bed at night, and then it converts over into a desk, and then at dinner time it's a table. Like in those little tiny houses, like you're limited with space, and I just loved watching some of the ideas that he came up with to like get the most efficient use out of whatever it is for that specific family.
Yeah.
So let's switch gears a little bit. Now, we've talked about drawers, we've talked about cabinets. We really haven't talked about tool chests, and we really haven't talked about tool walls. What are you guys' thoughts on having everything in mobile tool chests that move around, or just out in the open, like our friend Jason Bent, who's got everything on the wall? Joey, you got some stuff on the wall behind you. What are your thoughts on that?
I have a whole wall, and it was just, I made it out of wall control, and I love the wall control different things that they have. And I've got a whole wall where all my layout tools are nicely organized on the wall. One is so that I can see them and know when I need something, I can physically know where it's at and go get it, and it's organized. Is it necessary? No. Does it take up room? Yes, it does. But at the same time, I think that if you put everything out there and organize it, you know exactly where to go get it. And it's, you know, again, I go back to, is it necessary? No, but it looks cool. And
Does it increase your efficiency?
Yeah, I mean, everything's there because a lot of times you shove it in a drawer and you forget about it.
Mm-hmm.
But there's other clever ways to store that stuff or to put it away, right? You could go back to the tool chest, like you're saying, and you can dedicate a drawer and label it and have all those tools there. So I guess it depends on the person, right? I just have everything displayed, but I like wall control, and I like to, if I can implement it on whatever I'm doing, I'll do it because they've got some cool, innovative ways to hang things, Again, though, is it necessary? It depends on the person that's doing it.
I like the tool chest, but the first thing I do is I take the wheels off them. So I take them off. It's against the wall. I put a hard top on top of it so it's a usable surface, and I have small pull-out drawers up underneath it. I do have one in my shop that is on wheels. It goes up underneath a cabinet or underneath a tabletop, and I just use it as a mobile, basically, tool chest for mostly mechanical tools. I do not like a tool chest with an open top. To me, they all should have hard tops because if it's an open top, all it does is get stuff crammed in it, and it becomes a mess. You can't find anything. It's like your woman's purse. You're not going to find anything in there. They're pulling out everything from 1960 to now because it's literally it's just where things go to die. And then later on, you're looking for that tool, and it's probably on the top of that thing. So I hate those. I hate those open top chests. I hate them.
Yeah.
I mean, I did the same thing you're talking about. You know the project I did where I put wall control above. It relieved the space, the top. But I also took the casters off the cabinets and I inset them into a cabinet, a base cabinet. I just built a base, a empty space base cabinet and shoved the tool chest in there.
Yep.
And they provide a lot of storage, but again, buy the right tool chest because there's so many versions. A mechanic's tool chest, they're going to be narrow drawers, but there is tool chests out there that have wider drawers where the actual drawers are usable for things like what we do.
Right.
So you got to be mindful when you're buying one of them. And now, Matt, there's a lot of those cabinets coming out with tops on them. Some have adjustable tops that'll crank up so you can get that table height taller for yourself. They've got really, really innovative with them. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's my thought on them. I mean, just, you just got to be mindful of what you're buying. Make sure the drawers are wide. That's the thing, because then you're limited. What do you think? Anybody?
I have one tool chest. I mean, it's a three tier. And I mean, I totally agree with Matt. I have the chest style top that there's stuff in there. I have it positioned so I can get stuff out of the top there, but I could probably throw everything in that very top compartment out and I wouldn't even notice. I probably haven't touched anything in there. I think the only thing that I'm aware is in there is zip ties. So I don't throw my zip ties away, but everything else that could probably go.
I think too that when you get those, like myself, I need to just drag a trash can over there and stop being a hoarder and just start throwing stuff away because there's a lot of stuff that I don't even use. there's a lot of junk in them that just needs to get thrown away that I've just put in there. It gets put in there and you forget about it. It's somewhere to put something. But like making that, Gridfinity style things, or, Tyler has his whole setup that you can purchase from him with, the bases and all the different little boxes and stuff. I think if you utilize that system and put it in there, that forces you to start putting things away and utilize those drawers better than just shoving stuff in there. Cause I'm bad about it. Like, oh yeah, it's up here. I don't want to see it on the countertop. I open a drawer if there's a space in there. If not, I just shove it in there and close the drawer and it's gone. And then you just end up with a bunch of clutter.
Well, I mean, and I was going to go back to the Kaizen foam thing, because I watched some YouTube guy's video, and he had a drawer in his tool chest, and it was like calipers, like measuring type things in it and whatnot. And I think he did like a Gridfinity base, and then he designed, like, he took his calipers and he measured everything out, and he made cutouts similar to like the Kaizen foam and stuff. And he had that full drawer full of whatever tools were in there, and he minimized that to like a quarter. Like, he took every single one of those tools and he pieced them together, so like there was hardly any like
Wasted
space.
space, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I mean, that's very tedious to do what he did. But doing, like what the guy said, Tyler's system for the sustainers, Gridfinity, like, you can go deep into a Gridfinity like rabbit hole, and there's stuff for almost everything out there.
One of the nice things about that system, and any of those systems, is not so much the Kaizen foam or any of the other foam solutions, because once you cut that foam, you really can't fix it or reuse it, right? So when you look at things like the Gridfinity system, that's great because they're very adaptable. And over time, as your tasks or your jobs that you're working on change, and you bring in a new tool and now we're moving things, it's a lot easier with things like Gridfinity or like the sustainers that have the removable bins. It's easy to just redo those and just, you still have that base cabinet or whatever that has that Gridfinity in it, and you just say, okay, I don't need this cutout for these pliers. Those pliers I don't use anymore. I've got this new tool. Here it is. It fits right here. Now I've got a Dremel in this spot, and it just it's adaptable, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's a good point, Steve. Very good point.
Very because we're always changing. We're probably going to be in a different spot in our shop in a year. So having that flexibility to like tweak things like that is super.
I don't want to offend all the Kaizen foam guys out there, because it does look nice and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
Oh, yeah,
and it is. But I think it eats up a lot of space, as to where you can at the price that stuff costs, and if you have a 3D printer, you can print the heck out of those little bins and all that kind of stuff.
It's a great Instagram post to me, but it's not functional.
Yeah, it to me is not feasible.
Well, if you have the space, I think it can be very functional. It's just what your trade-offs are, right?
Yeah.
Do you have that space and the ability to lay that stuff out and still move on?
But even
the tool's never going to go bad. Are you never going to lose those tools? You're never going to change out those tools and have to change out that layout.
I mean, that's a good point. To each their own on that, right? Yeah. Like Steve says, if you have the room and that's what you want to do, hey, more power to you. Get after it. I just feel that I don't know if I would. I'm guilty of it. I have done it, and it looks cool in a drawer, but that's only one dang drawer that I've done it to, because everything's nice and neat, and it looks very organized, and it's just a small pull-out drawer on a base cabinet. But am I going to go do that everywhere? Hell no, because it just eats up too much room. I don't, and I have bought it, and it's sitting out there, but it eats up a lot of room. And I can start up one of these 3D printers and print those little boxes, and you can remake the sizes, and you can store all that stuff and organize it in those boxes, and they can adapt. If you want to change it out and you don't like it, you can rearrange it in there. You can make bigger storage boxes. You can do whatever.
It's versatile.
Yeah. That's just my opinion on that. And everybody has one, you know?
Well, I mean, I knew some people back in the day that had like, you know, thousands and thousands of dollars of like snap-on tools and stuff. And you know, that truck would show up and you'd see those guys just, oh God, they're here. But you know, you see some of those tool chests, and you know, if you're missing a tool, you're gonna know. Because there's a cutout right here, and there's no tool there.
Most tools that you're buying now, when it comes to wrenches, I mean, Harbor Freight's one of them. You get that Icon set. It's coming in a nice little organized little deal that you just take that out and set it in your drawer. It's got everything on it that you need. You know, it's labeled. Heck, even some of the stuff that I've got off the TikTok shop that they've sent to me is now in Kaizen foam. And it's all laser etched, and it's got labeling on it.
Wow.
You know, they're all starting to do their own thing, but like kind of that stuff takes up a lot of space.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's already organized. The Icon tool stuff, they come in pretty dang good organized holders. Milwaukee's starting to do the same thing now. Everything's coming in its little case or organized little deal that you can just grab that, put it in a drawer. But again, then they're all different sizes, so you can only fit so many in there, and then you still have those big voided spaces. Like, what do you do to fill that in? What can you put there? You know? So there's always that fight.
Yep, 100%. Yeah, Wehar's doing the same thing. I've got a couple of Weha screwdriver sets that came with the foam inserts, all done up nice, all labeled. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Hey, one of the things we haven't really talked about, and it kind of falls in the shop organization, we touched on it a little bit, is shop layout and workflow and how that plays into all of this.
Dude, that's a whole show on its own, Steve.
Well, all right. So I guess next week, maybe.
That is a whole show in its own, and we need to probably talk about that. But that's not, I mean, there's not enough time right now. I don't want to be on here for another
3 hours.
Yeah, because that is, everybody's going to have an opinion on that, I believe. And there's, Matt touched on it. That's organizing. I don't even want to get into it. I'm trying to organize my drawers, Steve. I want to talk about setting up tools.
What do you mean storage, breakdown, final finish?
How about any last comments or anything on optimization for, specific areas like CNCs or lasers or, hand planes or anything like that?
We shortly touched on shelves, but I think shelves have a application, but it's with a full extension drawer slides. Therefore, being able to see the back of that shelf. So if you have a cabinet down below and it has a shelf in it, say it has doors, and you open up and can pull out a cabinet, all your shelves can be full extension.
Yeah.
Now you can see the entire thing and you're not digging through like Mustache said. But if they're above your head, you're never going to see it.
Right.
That's what I was saying at the beginning, having those with pull-out drawers. Now the top, the top cabinets pull out. I know that I've seen some kitchen cabinets for the, how do I put this without offending Anybody? For the short people, and just say it. You could pull it out and it'll actually drop down.
Well, it's not called a European. It's I forget what it's called, but I know that's where I found them at, and it was like actually the whole thing falls down. I have a vertically challenged wife, and so I have to come up with solutions for her to be able to get that. And having step stools everywhere,
A ladder.
Yeah, it's got to have like 4 steps on it for her to be able to get to that top shelf. So, but to have a full
frying pan one of these days.
frying pans are up too high; she can't get to them.
Self-preservation.
But to have that, basically the whole inside of the cabinet holds down to countertop level.
Yeah,
it's a pretty nice system.
They've got really innovative with them, you know. But those are things like that because I just feel uppers. I've got a bunch of storage that it's just clutter in there, and I don't know how to fix that. It's not as easy to fix that as a drawer.
But Steve did touch on that, and so having shorter shelves in your cabinet, 1,
right.
2, having levels, so you could have that 1 level of shelf, but add on the say the next stage back is just up a little bit higher so you can see it, and then the next stage from that is just a little bit higher. Then you're going up to the next. Therefore, you can see what's right behind it.
Yeah, think like stadium seating.
Yes,
right.
Yes.
It's a good idea. It is, but
it's what I do with my colors for my pigments.
Yeah, but if you're like a bull in a china cabinet, you go and grab something from the back and you end up pulling everything down with it. You know, that's the only thing that's where I get, because you just grab and you end up stuff just falls out, you know. And even with the tiered solution like that, how do you make something that they actually fit into where they can't fall out? Like if you accidentally hit it grabbing something else. I mean, it all depends on what the hell you're storing in it too. Are we talking mica powders? Are we talking glue? Are we talking, what are we putting in there?
Well, even if you did your, little quart cans of paint and you had them stepped up just so you can see, okay, that's, this type of finish. That's this type of finish.
Oh, you just opened a can of worms with that, boy.
Why not?
Because that's supposed to go in a metal.
Oh, what you going to do?
A metal shelf because that's flammable, sir. Safety, sir.
Think
about safety.
Okay.
For all the safety guys out there, you don't put that in a wooden cabinet.
Oh, it's in there. It's in there. That's what you gonna do? What you gonna? You stay safe in your shop. I'll stay safe in mine.
You got it. That's what I would say. Safety comes first, sir.
I'll come over there and check your steel toe flip flops.
Yeah,
that's right. OSHA approved flip flops.
Exactly.
It's almost coming to that time of the year again, baby. Can't wait.
There you go. I know he's got sweat. He's got sweatshirts for his toes.
Oh, for my piggies. Anyhow,
all right.
Mustache, you got to
put a pin in this.
Yeah, let's put a pin in it.
Mustache, yeah. Let me thank our top tier patrons. In addition to everyone down on the bottom of the screen, I will call out Don from What's Next Woodworking, Victor from Wind Design, Tyler from Forge 3D, Steve, who's still a patron, I guess, from Steve I Design, Mike from Lido's Woodshop, and last but not least, Jonathan over at John4225. We thank our top tier and every tier for their support. And once again, if you want to join those fine folks, you can go over to supportcmp.com and pick your tier and join in on the fun. We got a giveaway. I think we got a giveaway next week, I believe.
Should.
I
don't know,
maybe.
Yes.
Technically, it's March, I think.
March, 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. All right. Well,
2 weeks.
I jumped the gun, but
2 weeks. For our Patreon members. That's Patreon only, those giveaways.
patron only. Yes.
Yep.
So with that, anything else, gentlemen?
No. And nothing's coming up that we have, right? Anybody?
Nope.
I don't think so.
I think we got everything under control, but we are working on trying to get Steve to get another video at some point. I'm gonna
Yes, I gotta
throw him under the bus
go
there.
No, that's a combo. That's a Steve and Mustache combo.
Oh, really?
So yeah, we'll probably tackle that after I get back from Iowa.
All right, cool. So that'll be going into the Creative Makers podcast, Creative Makers College. So hopefully we can get that one, get another video in there. But anyhow, I'll stop babbling on. I got a boy texting me, asking me questions during the freaking show, but sorry about that. Got a little sidetracked there. Until next week, same time, same place. We don't have anybody on till March, right?
Correct.
March?
We'll have Scott on. We'll have Scott on next week.
Well, Scott. Yeah, Scott will be there.
Mr. Potato Farmer is going to be on. Okay. That's going to be a show you probably do not want to miss because Mr. Mustache is going to be in the same building as Scott.
Halfway
Shall
across
visit.
the country.
That ought to be. We don't know what to expect. We may have to.
Right.
We may have to escort him out. Who knows? With them
That
two,
might
hopefully
be-
not.
Yeah.
You better be
we'll
on your
see.
best behaviors, both of you.
I'll try.
Anyhow, please remember to head on over to Spotify, iTunes, leave us a review, download. We appreciate everybody hanging out with us in the chat every Sunday. Thank y'all very much. Thank you to all the Patreons, everybody that's supporting us. Please remember to give us a like here on this video. And if you would please come back after the show's done and leave a comment, we would greatly appreciate it. If you have anything that you want us to talk about, you can email us at creativemakerspodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're a Patreon member, go into that Discord, put something in there. If you got a show topic you want us to talk about, let's get it done. But anyhow, that's going to do it for us tonight. See y'all next week. Bye now.
Thank you.